please join me in pledge of the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the Lincoln County Commission regular session, May 1st, 2014 at 6 p.m. in room 108 of the courthouse. Members present, KK Matthews president, Darrell Baker is not here at the moment, but I'm sure he will be. Oh, Darrell Baker present. Charles Vance commissioner present, Charles McCann commissioner is present by telephone, right, Mr. McCann?
I'm here.
Okay. The meeting's called to order by Mary, so
we need a motion to approve the minutes for the April 15, 2014 meeting at 4 p.m.
Is that the special session?
That's a special session.
I'll move.
I'll second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. Next is to approve the minutes of the regular session of Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held April the 17th at 6 p.m.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion at this time that we rescind the order that we entered into concerning the comp time and to further clarify the situation before we proceed with it.
Is there a second to that motion?
I would second that motion and also add to that, that really we were sort of out of order last week because we really had a motion and a second on the floor and then we took a difference in that before action. So really it's just Commissioner Banks is asking for rescission. So I second that.
All right. Seeing it's a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Now we will, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular session of the April 17th meeting at 6 p.m.?
I'll motion that.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second? I second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
That includes the exception we just made with the comp time.
The ayes have it. Now we're in the public comments. Vernon Lovejoy regarding the Lovejoy Cemetery Road.
I am Vernon Lovejoy. I think I represent all the people who have relatives buried at Lovejoy Cemetery. And Lovejoy Cemetery is, I'm assuming you read the letter we wrote several years ago, has now there's over 330 graves at the site. It probably is a cemetery qualifies for the National Register of Historic Places. We cooperated with the condemnation of the land, and Lovejoy's gave up a great majority of the land that now occupies the Lincoln County land associated with the reservoir. After the reservoir was built, a pond was created along Lovejoy Cemetery Road, and that pond is creating a slow, progressive erosion pattern. I want to give you these pictures. This was taken yesterday, and if you look from the original photograph, we sent, yes, and this is the one yesterday. You can see the progression is still happening. It's probably, in the last 2 years, it's probably receded another 2 feet. And the water, I would like to tell you that the water level there is not just 1 or 2 feet. It's probably a 12 or 15 foot down the slope there, and so the water is there permanently. And all the people that visit the cemetery, the majority of them, at one time or another, have contacted us with concern about driving along the road. Everybody feels like when they drive along there that the road is going to collapse on their vehicle at that time. So you can see their concern. It's the only access to the cemetery now. And when Lincoln County condemned the land, they also condemned this road. And so we're We don't now own the road, it's owned by Lincoln County. It was grandfathered, or so we were told, but there's no records of any related right-of-way or anything associated with that. On the other side, on the north side of the cemetery, there was a historical road. It used to actually be kind of a loop road that ran from the county road, looped around up through the cemetery and out the other side. So part of that road still exists today, and part of it was disturbed during construction of the project. So we don't think that financially that trying to fix the road on the pond side is feasible. Whereas on the north side, it would be very simple, probably not more than a one-day project to construct a new road back or repair the old road that was there. The county does own a significant amount of land on the area that we have suggested that we might want to think about putting the road back in. Exactly how much the county owns there could only be determined by survey. The only thing we have is the tax record, which, you know, that's all the information we had. So, back in 2011, obviously, that I had visited once before, and we wrote a letter to support that information, and we haven't heard from the county since. So we're kind of at a loss of what's happening, if anything, and we would like to help you in whatever way we can pursue correcting this and making a permanent fix to the road. It's an easy, permanent fix, but it also might cross some other private land. Probably not far, I guess would be not more than 30 or 40 yards, but the only way we'd know would be by survey. So I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Have you contacted that other landowner that you're talking about?
Yes, the Lovejoy Cemetery is kind of owned down the middle. My brother and I own the south side, and Flora Mae Lovejoy owns the north side of the cemetery. And Flora Mae owns also part of that private land associated with the downhill side of the cemetery there. And I'm not sure how cooperative they would be to allow a road to come through there. That's something you'd have to take up with them. I would say that they have indicated that land was returned to them by Lincoln County, although the tax records don't indicate such. They've also constructed a fence there that has no trespassing sign on it, which may be blocking county land from public use. Again, that's something that the county will have to explore. We're not sure how cooperative they would be of reopening that existing road that came in from the north side. So we're kind of in between our, shall we say, a pond and a hard place. So ask me, I probably got answers to all your questions, so if you go for it.
I don't know, have you had someone look at the road and tell you it's not repairable, what we're looking at here?
Well, I talked to Dennis Lawson at the time, 2 years ago, and he acknowledges he said the only thing we could probably do is dump some gravel over in there, but again, it's a large pond, a deep pond, and it was just, there's no support at the base of the pond to build a road back up there, is what I'm saying. And if you notice these other pictures, there's also additional places starting to cave in now that are not associated with the original issue. It's caving in multiple places along that road now.
Did Dennis say he could do anything about it because it's a private road? Because I didn't think he could.
It's not a private road, it's on county property. It's all county property now. That's the problem, see, well, it's not the problem was the pond, but when the county bought the land around the reservoir, they bought it to a certain elevation, and that elevation took in that road.
Charles, wasn't Flora in here talking about this before? I mean, do you remember her coming in and talking about this?
Yeah, we've approached that. I went up there and looked at that site. Of course, the road he's talking about going to the cemetery definitely is eroding in there pretty bad. And that's been over a year ago when I looked at it. And I remember talking to Vernon on the phone, and he sent some papers in, and we got into it and looked at it, but it is a little bit complicated, and I guess we just sort of dropped the ball on it, but it is one of those things that probably needs to be clarified, but it is going to cost a few dollars to have it surveyed, and that's the reason, of course, at that time, it's a different prosecutor, we did talk about it, and felt like it was one of those issues, I guess it's a common community issue rather than just a specific family issue because of the cemetery. But there is a somewhat dispute there on the land that we may own as a county commission between the road and the property of Florida May. So I don't know, if the commission chooses to try to work on this thing, I think it would probably be the proper thing to do, but we'll have some expense to it.
We would have to have a survey. Why don't we put it on the agenda for the next meeting?
That sounds fine.
We'll go ahead and put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, we just like some feedback because it's been a couple of years since we, attempted to communicate with the commission, and we haven't heard anything back, so. And in the meantime, the road has collapsed a couple more feet, so you can see where we're headed. We just want a permanent fix, so we won't have to come back and spend more money and more time.
Well, as Commissioner Kane said, I think the first thing to do is, it's like we're gonna have to get that survey and find out what
I
we
agree.
need versus, then we can go from there and decide which is the best way to go about it, and maybe even talk with Florida and family or whatever.
Yeah.
See if they're amenable to it. I think probably that's the best way to go about it, is just wait on next meeting, we'll take it up and about the survey and get that approved and things like that.
Well, we'll cooperate with you any way you'd like, so thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Logan. Sean O'Donohue, Lincoln County Commission. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wrong list.
Wrong list.
I'm here, but I'm not talking.
I'm sorry. Let's see, I think it's Alex Alshire, Alfred Abshire, being, PS Branch and Nika PS. I'm sorry if I couldn't read the road.
We have a problem with the tank, and we've had this problem for 3 or 4 years. And, I brought some stuff over to commission back then, showing how bad it was. Never did do anything back then. Now the tank is really, really, really getting bad.
When did you bring this over?
That's been a couple of years ago. And he was wanting to see at that time that they could maybe go to the government or something that was the tank taken care of.
What do you need to do to the tank?
We need to replace the tank.
Replace the
Yeah,
tank?
It's a 60-something mile tank. And when it goes out, our whole system is going to be out.
Well, we need to put this on the agenda for the next meeting.
Yeah, see if you can get somebody to look at it, see what kind of costs we're talking
Well,
about.
he's supposed to fax that to us.
Yeah, when you get that, let us
Well,
have
if you
it.
can, we'll just fax it to Mary and we'll put it on the next agenda, if that's okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
See you.
Roger Atkins, Big Ugly Neighborhood Crime Watch.
You guys gotta look over me, I'm new at this.
We're in the same.
I'm representing Big Ugly Crime Watch. We've had it for a little over a year now. And the president before me is supposed to have been working on trying to get some radios and, and evidently hasn't done anything. So we had an election and I kind of got voted in as president. And I'm here to try to see if you guys could help us with get some radios for the Crime Watch in Big Ugly. And you heard about the break-in up there, the man got beat up and,
No, I haven't.
well, yeah, there's 3 guys went in on him, beat him up with a fire extinguisher and almost killed him, and crime it's running rapid up there. And I know that the police department's doing all they can do, and we just, we want to try to help them and help our neighborhood.
Do you have the cost of the radios that you were wanting to buy, or do you know?
I do not have no cost of them. That's, see, our president before us has been doing all this stuff, and I don't know what they are.
Well, don't want to interrupt you, but, we just approved a grant. I think Alan Holder, the 911 director, actually wrote a grant, I think it was the Homeland Security, to buy radios. So that might be something that we could look at. Maybe, if you wouldn't mind, probably getting in touch with him,
Okay.
because he would probably know exactly what you need, for, what it is that you all do.
Okay.
And he has money that he just, that's just, I think, appropriate. I think he is going to receive it there. And I think it's about $196,000 or something like that. So that's
Okay,
a
so
lot of money.
that's who I need to talk to?
That would be who you need to talk to.
Okay,
And, I don't have my phone with me, but I can give you his number.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
You could call, I can get one.
Okay.
Or
Pardon me?
tomorrow, you can call me tomorrow in the commissioner's office, I'll give you that one, phone number.
Okay.
And I think that'd probably be the appropriate way to
And
go.
and also, Mary, check with the other crime watch and see how they afforded their radios.
Okay.
I think you guys have approved money for it already, but that was about a year ago when Lacey was first took over, almost 2 years ago now, when Lacey was in charge of the crime watch. And he came and they would talk to Alan as well back then. So I think it's just a matter of information I can pass over to Roger.
It does seem like we've got something from the grant department saying the grants that were getting ready to expire. And
Yeah.
it's I'm just don't, but I feel like I remember seeing.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they got-
it was
they
in,
got-
like, I'm new at this. I
Right.
didn't, I wasn't in the,
Yes.
I didn't come to no meetings or anything. Nothing ever did come of it, a year, that's a long time,
Yeah.
or something.
Well, let's talk to, well, you can talk to Alan, because there's probably something that works there.
Right.
It's
Okay.
just, whenever you have different people and things change hands, things get passed over and looked
Yeah.
over and things like that. That would be appropriate.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Michael Moffett, Circus.
I am Michael Moffitt. I am running for delegate for our area for everywhere except for Hamlin, District 22. So if I can have your support there, I appreciate it. But I'm here today to talk about the upcoming circus this Sunday, at 3 p.m. and again at 5:30 p.m. over at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds. It's free for children. There's tickets in all kinds of stores all around town, all around the county. And I don't have the cost per adult, but I know it's going on at 3 o'clock and 5:30 at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds.
Thank you.
Hope to see you there.
Next is David Webb, Conservation issue.
Yeah, I just wanted to update the commission on a couple things with the Conservation Agency. A couple weeks ago, I took some engineers from the Natural Resource Agency up to Big Ugly, and they done some filming and surveying up there at the stream from the mouth of Big Ugly 3 miles up, and they were very, very pleased with what they seen up there. They're going to start mapping that. They're doing some proposals on stream bank restoration up there where there's some slippage. I've contacted the owner of that property. That property just sold in January to a new outfit down in North Carolina. I talked with them yesterday about lease agreements that the county could get there for stocking this. And they felt it was not necessary because that property still falls underneath the Big Ugly State Park area up there. And they think that that's not going to be a problem at all. And we've dealt with Holbeck Mine up there, and they've agreed to provide us some rock structures to go in that creek at the mouth of it to help prevent fish from going on into the Guyandotte River, and on the upper end to keep them from going further upstream and keep them within that section of property for the public. And again, that's in work, and I think that's looking good. The other thing, Doc and I talked to you about this, the spillway at Big Ugly over there. And I called and talked to the DNR South.
That Mud River?
At Mud River, yes. The spillway there, there's about 3/4 of a mile that the county owns there from the spillway before you get to private land. And yes, they want at least a mile, to stock that, but they said we could submit a waiver to those folks and they would definitely look at that. Simply one of the facts is because we don't have any trout stocking in this county. So I think that may go also. And if you haven't been over, go over and look at it. I think that would be a wonderful place, for us to get some stocking in there. But anyway, I'm working that also. The other thing, the Guyan Conservation Agency is hosting a farm field day this Saturday from 2
or from 10 till 2 over at Middle Creek at Zeke Woods Farm over there. They're gonna have several vendors there. Dave Roberts from Extension Agency will be there putting on some demonstrations, along with some other events, but I just wanted to invite everybody out today.
What did you call it again?
It's Lincoln County Farm Field Day.
Field
It's
Day.
an annual event that the Conservation Agency puts
Okay. I can put it on the website, but I didn't want to say it wrong.
on. Okay. That's it.
Thank you, Dave.